Check this out, ladies and gents. The said to be upcoming Tesla Model 3 performance, and this is just the start. I found indication of range, suspension setup, speed, motor setup and more. It won't be long before the damn thing will be announced, as there's even a rumoured window just months away. What do you all think of it? Well, this video leaked all over X of the performance variant of the Model 3 refresh without all the camo for everyone to see, which is strange because everything is normally hush hush, loads of camo shots hiding in plain sight until its grand reveal. Remember this leak of the Model 3 that was well covered at the time but never really confirmed as the real deal? Well, the footage here makes me think Tesla was doing this deliberately to generate hype, but primarily they were getting the snaps and the promo videos in before the big grand reveal. So oh boy, there's a lot to get excited about, and the latest reports are better than I first thought back in January. For those that follow Tesla will know that the newly refreshed Tesla Model 3 has just been made available globally, but only in rear-wheel drive and the long-range trim with no performance variant. Frankly, the rear-wheel drive and the long-range variants have already been wetting the mouths of seemingly everyone that wants to try it. But stop right there, Adam. There has been one missing universally accepted criticism of the updated Model 3. Where is the damn performance model? Spoiler alert, there might not actually be a Model 3 performance. In fact, it could well be a Model 3 ludicrous performance. Yes, there was already leaks from the Tesla service manual, but there could be more foundations set on the introduction of the ludicrous mode for the Tesla Model 3 performance. It's not just the new refreshed Model 3 performance that I'm planning to discuss today, but another new Tesla vehicle. No, it's not the Cybertruck, but a Tesla van. Well, not really a van, but it's aimed at commercial buyers. It's a factory-built Model Y van. Just think, the range of a Model Y, but with even better hauling space. Bags of potential here. More on that later. Rounding this up before we head into the good stuff, every so often when there's substantial coverage or Tesla news dropping all over X, if you don't use X or if you're not fully up to speed with the latest Tesla news and rumours, well, I like to filter out all the nonsense for you and focus on the good stuff every now and then. Therefore, for this video, I've collated and crammed everything into a 10-minute-ish video of pure Tesla EV goodness. You're welcome. Let's get into it. Without a doubt, this new Tesla right here has a distinctive look, and so it damn right should. Outright performance is boring unless it looks like a monster. Starting with the more aggressive front bumper, it seems to be a mixture of the old bumper, which brings back the air fins either side, together with the sweeping line of the new front bumper. The splitter looks more predominant to me too, but front to back, from side to side, it oozes I'm no ordinary Model 3 here. You know it's a Model 3 performance from every angle without looking at the badge at the back. This is no longer just a tweak here and there to the long-range Model 3. It's a fully fledged dedicated performance model right now. From the side, we have the new 20-inch wrap wheels with aero inserts equipped with the Pirelli P0 tyres. This setup apparently underscores the vehicle's performance orientation. The tyre dimensions are 275/30 R20, which indicate that it's optimized grip for high-speed accelerations and cornering. Behind them aero inserts that will clip in and out. The red brake calipers are not just an aesthetic choice this time, they also signify enhanced braking capabilities essential for handling the new model's increased performance. Ooh. Then heading over to the rear, the spoiler looks slightly bigger than before, but the real difference here is going to be that diffuser. It definitely looks more aggressive than the rear-wheel drive and long-range variants, likely for aero and downforce purposes. But did you spot the exclusive badge? Before you shout, that's a Blab badge. No, that's actually a ludicrous badge, similar to the Model S Performance that gained the same ludicrous mode before Plaid even existed. There's a whole more difference under the skin and to the naked eye, like the different suspension and some certainty on the whole dual or tri-motor configuration speculation. But before we jump onto the specs, in the Tesla service manual, we can even hear the sound difference this monster will bring. Take a listen to this.
Dude, that is so sick.
Yep, This already sounds like my wife and kids when I already floor it already. So hopefully this takes it to a whole new level of screaming potential. Okay, you want something more substantial, don't you now? Well, I got you covered. Okay, we've talked about the wider tyres and better brakes, but we now seem to have two different sets of certification indicating that the new Model 3 Performance will be a dual motor setup and not a tri-motor setup like the Model S Plaid. First rumoured back in September, Drive Tesla Canada highlighted EU certifications on the vehicle's VIN had already indicated a dual motor setup. But now another certification over in South Korea also indicates the same thing. I can't speak Korean, but thankfully some clever folk on X apparently can. The certification reveals that the front motor is exactly the same, but the rear motor is a brand new and beefier than before. In old school money, both motors now generate 600 brake horsepower, well over that, with 212 brake horsepower coming from the front and 406 brake horsepower from the rear motor. That new motor is 70 brake horsepower more than before. Now you eagle eyes will also have seen weight confirmation, the battery pack size and the proposed range here. In a nutshell, this Model 3 Performance is no heavier than before, the battery pack remains the same for now as before, but the range is notably lower. Now this is subject to change and we know that the tyres are wider, so that probably has a bit more of a negative impact on the range, but it's also expected to be more aero efficient than before. Apparently the range classifications are even stricter than US requirements, but my 2 cents here is just wait for the official announcement. It's likely to be in between the rear wheel drive and the long range variants once again, but let's just wait and see before you set your expectations. Suspension wise is a bit of a mystery. When the Street has been at 20 staff from the Fremont factory was sent to Giga Shanghai to help dial in some of the suspension woes on the performance model. If you saw Jay Leno's recent episode on the refreshed Model 3 with Tesla's Lars and Franz, when they were talking about suspension settings, Lars very coyly mentioned that the rear-wheel drive and the dual-motor long-range Model 3 has passive suspension. Listen to this.
Does this have a comfort, touring, sport, or is it just one setting?
No, so the long-range dual motor and the rear-wheel drive are just passive with that new damping technology I talked about.
Did you think this kind of opened the door to perhaps the Model 3 ludicrous performance having active suspension? Maybe? It's just pure speculation, but I would very much expect something extra special once again for suspension, even more so if they had to nail some gremlins in the suspension setup as the rumour was. Plenty of new info to give us a direction of what to expect, but still enough to leave a surprise or two come the announcement. When will that be? Vehicle Suggest seem to think that May could be the window worldwide for a release, and if so, maybe an announcement maybe won't happen until after Q1, just so that they don't Osborne any sales of other models in the meantime. Moving on to another new Tesla vehicle, this one is confirmed, a hot new two-seater that isn't the Tesla Roadster, but actually a new Tesla Model Y with no rear seats. Sounds pretty crazy, but it's a Tesla Model Y van. Maybe they should have just called it your van. It's got a bit more of a nice ring to it. But this creates new usable storage capacity of 2,158 litres with 351 miles of range. So why did Tesla do this? Well, this was announced primarily for the French car market because it makes it eligible for tax incentives if it's used in a professional context. So that means, i.e. commercial purposes, I guess. This isn't Tesla's first variation of an existing model. Remember the long-range rear-wheel drive Tesla Model 3 announced first for UK business fleets? This seems very similar, but targeted exclusively to France at first, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see it across Europe and potentially the UK shortly after. And whilst I don't know this exactly, if it mirrors the recent rear-wheel drive long-range Model 3, it won't be available from Tesla's website, but exclusively through their business customer sales channel. This to me sounds like a great solution for Tesla to use for their own mobile service team. Plenty of room for tools and parts. It could even be fully kitted out, enabling to do more jobs on the road and still have ample range to cover a number of different jobs on the same day. This isn't just useful for Tesla service, but a handy, reliable model that opens up new customers thanks to this variation. It's not designed for the masses, of course, but it's a niche market, but a brand new different market that Tesla can tap into and hope to open up new customers to the Tesla brand. So to conclude, the new refreshed Tesla Model 3 Performance is shaping up into something special. Will it now finally reach sub 3-second 0 to 60 times, I think this should be the target of expectation, but at what price? Well, one thing for certain, it would definitely be more expensive than the long range, said Captain Obvious. But for the price tag, a better punch of power and a host of exclusive features and looks that will make it stand out as a performance Model 3. The Model Y van, aka van to me, is also super interesting. Imagine the commercial possibilities this opens up. EV vans typically have lower operating ranges and they aren't the quickest to charge, whereas this Tesla Model Y van offers space and range likely at a reasonable price, especially in France where it's targeting tax incentives. Could your business benefit from this two-seater Model Y-like van? I'd be interested to know for sure. So did this video help at all today? Has this got you hyped for buying either the new ludicrous Model 3 Performance or the Model Y van? When do you think the Model 3 Performance will be released and will you be buying one? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe and share it with your friends or family or anyone that may find the video beneficial. You folks are great and I'll see you in the next one.